Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sky Academy's second university seminar. This is a series in which we invite guests from universities to tell us about their personal experiences. This week's guest is Sami Kaya. Hello, Sami.
Hey there.
How's everything?
So far, so good. How about you?
I'm preparing for the finals.
Yeah, same here.
So, Sami, can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, sure. My name is Sami Kaya. I am a senior at MIT, majoring in physics and math, and probably a minor in computer science. I have like one more semester to graduate, so looking forward to that. I came to the US like 3.5 years ago when I started college. Yeah.
Okay. Why did you choose MIT?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So MIT has been my dream school since like the second year of high school when I decided to come to US for college. Um, yeah, so the main reason I would say is MIT is like one of the best in physics, and like I wanted to be a physicist in high school too. So like that's the main reason I chose MIT.
I see. And the math major comes from interest, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, and also like I want to do theory, so like math
Hmm.
also helps in that way too.
Okay. So what makes MIT unique from other universities?
So I would say the main thing is academic intensity and rigor. Like at MIT, you are almost always busy, and like there's a lot of homework, and like it's actually there's like a metaphor. Like people say like studying at MIT is like kind of drinking out of a fire hose. Basically, like there are a lot of things to learn, and like you're trying to learn them super fast, and that could get overwhelming sometimes. But there's also this sense of community, so that like you are instead of competing with other students, you are struggling together and trying to like get through MIT together in a united front. So like I like that community aspect a lot, and that struggle also like helps you grow and improve yourself. And that's like I like the challenge as well. Yeah.
So what would you have to say about the campus, the local city? Are there places to go, things to do, places to study outside of the campus?
Yeah. So Boston is a beautiful city. It's definitely one of my favorite cities in the U.S. It's the campus is right next to Charles River, and like for example, I sometimes go running around the Charles River, and it has a great scenery. It's great in all ways. Basically, it's a great view. The weather sometimes in Boston gets cold. In the winter, it's really cold. But apart from that, like in the spring, it's really nice outside. Um, what else? Yeah, so there are like a lot of activities. For example, like I took a PE class sailing, and like I was able to sail in Charles. That's like that's one of the great PE classes that MIT offers. So like there are a lot of opportunities that way too. Um, yeah, like I like Boston a lot. So like there are a lot of things to do in Boston, in general. Yeah.
Okay. Have you joined any teams or clubs or extracurricular activities?
Yeah, I've been involved with the MSA Muslim Students Association since I was a freshman. Yeah, since my freshman year. Like I was a part of the social committee my freshman and sophomore year. My junior year, I became the vice president. Um, and then right now I'm a part of the academic committee. Yeah, like my MSA at MIT has a beautiful community and there are a lot of like nice people, and like it has been a great part of my MIT experience. Um, Apart from that, I was also a part of EDIR, which is an interfaith dialogue club. This is, like right now, I'm doing my second year. Like which the EDIR is basically like there are small groups of discussion from with people from different diversity of backgrounds, and you discuss religion, philosophy, and like deep questions like that. So like that has also been fun. Um, Apart from that, also like I did some intramural basketball too. There are like a lot of intramural sports at MIT as well.
What was your admission process like?
Yeah, as I've said, I'm from Turkey. I went to high school in Turkey, and basically I like prepared. I took the necessary exams and stuff like that back in Turkey. Like my decision to come to the US as a goal was late in high school. It was like about, I think, my junior year. I've decided that I wanted to pursue this. My like in my junior year, I took two or I think three AP classes to like help my admission into US colleges. Um, and like after that summer, everything happened like pretty quickly. I took the SAT, I took the SAT subject tests, I took my TOEFL exam, um, and like after that, basically, I also that summer did some sort of an internship in one of the universities in Turkey. So I think that was also one of the like greatest factors into like that went into my admission. I also got a recommendation letter from the professor as well. So I think that's one of the main things that affected my getting into MIT. Um, yeah, so like during the summer, like basically I had to take these exams a month apart each, and then that was intense. And then I had like a week or so, a month or so to write my college essays. That was also I applied to like 18 schools, so like that was also rough back in the day. Yeah.
So the AP courses you took in the SAT and TOEFL, you took these all in Turkey, right? Before coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So what would you recommend to high schoolers, especially seniors, if they want to go to MIT?
I think for seniors at this point, they're like about to, they are like wrapping up their applications. I would say in your applications, try to paint a picture for people so that, like, for example, if you're saying that you are interested in studying physics or mathematics, whatever, try to make your application tell them a story about your interest in general. For example, don't be like, okay, I like physics, and then in your resume there it's all like computer science. That really doesn't make sense. That doesn't tell them about you and your interests. Like try to paint a picture of your interests and your passions in general, and then like that way they could see who you are looking at the different components of the application. For example, your essays should give them some details about your interests and your passions and your personality, and then the internships you did or like the project you completed in high school, that should also give them an idea of your interests and who you are as a person. In general though, MIT admissions, I think one of the main things that they look at, and this is like completely a theory that I came up with, is since MIT is like pretty rough and busy in general, I think one of the things that they look at is if you are capable of handling that pressure. And like for me, for example, I think the fact that I had to take these exams back to back and basically had a really short time to complete my application, and like alhamdulillah, I got like good scores on those tests as well, was one of the indications that I could handle the pressure. So like if there are things like that in your application, or like try to show them that you can handle it, basically, if you really want to go to MIT.
I wanted to ask, how's the housing situation at MIT? Is dorming required? And yeah, is dorming required?
So for freshmen, I think it was before the pandemic. First freshman year, you had to stay in a dorm. After that, you could move out. Yeah. My experience, though, I started staying in the dorm freshman year because it was required. But after that, I found people there who were like great friends, and like I found a great community there. Mostly as a part of the MSA. Like I had friends that I would go pray with all the time, and then and I found a community there, so I stayed in the dorm for like all my MIT life, basically. And different dorms have different cultures. And the floor that I lived in my dorm was basically like where Muslim people went, Muslim boys in general, I went to stay, and then there was like a crowd there too, and it was a supporting community. So like I liked that about my floor and my dorm. So that was one of the good things. Yeah. Yeah. In general, as I said, like there are a lot of dorms at MIT, and they all have different cultures. But yeah, I liked my experience in MIT housing and yeah, dormitory. Yeah.
So outside of dorming, so if our people from our community wanted to go there and house, I know that Boston's very expensive for housing. So is there a chance for them to maybe stay somewhere, or are they on their own?
There are some apartment complexes nearby. I actually have friends, had friends who stayed in an apartment complex like close to MIT, but like 5-10 minutes, I guess, walking. And like it was not as expensive as far as I know. Because like when you go live in an apartment with some of your friends, like you also like share the rent. So like I don't think rent was a big issue for them. Um, yeah, also like if you have scholarship, they give you the housing scholarship, so that you can like spend it however you want, basically. So that's also like one of the pluses. But in general, though, at MIT, I would suggest people to stay in dorms if because like otherwise it could get hard to concentrate on studies. In general, like I benefited from that like a lot because like at MIT, as I've said, you're busy at all times, and like if you're living close to campus, that would come in handy. For example, like one of the perks of staying in my dorm is which is called the Massey dorm. It is really close to campus, and like if you have class, for example, at 9 a.m., sometimes like you get up at 9 a.m. and make it to class. So like you don't have to worry about commuting to class, and you don't have to worry about having a proper studying environment because like for example you can go to classes and classrooms, you can use the blackboards to study, which I've done a lot in physics. Like you just go there and like on the chalkboard you study. That was one of like fun things. um, yeah, also I think like staying in the dorm at least the freshman year is good for community building so that you can have friends from MIT and then you can like interact with them in a dorm setting, which I will miss for sure after I graduate from MIT.
Do on-site classes still exist due to COVID, or is it all online?
There are some in-person classes, but there are mostly like mechanical engineering classes or like yeah, I think they're mostly mechanical engineering classes. For physics, there were no in-person classes as far as I know. And for example, like last semester, actually this semester, up until last week, I was on campus and like I did all my classes online. And despite that, like I had my friends around, so that helped me concentrate on my studies more. Um, yeah, so in general, I guess like there are mostly classes are online, but there are some classes that in-person components are significant enough so that they have them in person.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add? Maybe something we've missed?
Um, I guess like one thing I want to mention is MIT has a different like culture in general. For example, like it's a really like I guess nerdy culture. For example, like we have something called hacks, and that like at MIT that means like huge practical jokes, anonymous jokes. Like um, people don't know who did them, and then they're like a great part of the culture. For example, like one story about the dome at MIT. If you know like um, the main building of MIT, it's like it has a dome on it, and one story is that like back in the day, parking tickets were really expensive around campus, and like MIT, the campus police went around like charging people a lot by the tickets. So some students decided that they want to do a prank, and they were fed up. So what they did was basically they put a police car on top of the dome, right? Like you can look it up, MIT police car prank or hack. Um, it is literally a police car sitting on top of the dome, and then police was really confused, like how did people get the car there, and like how does that even make sense? Um, yeah, so actually that police car is still on exhibit in Stata building at MIT. I'm not sure if you can have access like because of the pandemic right now, but like if you have a chance after, definitely go see it. It's really like it's an actual size police car, and like they somehow managed to put it on top of the dome. Yeah, that's like one of the many examples of these practical jokes, and like it was, yeah, I like that culture a lot in general. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Okay, Tommy, thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
That's the end
you
of our
very
episode. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. See you next time.